very gentle, passive thing. But if you cease something, that implies you do it with intention. And the reading from Deuteronomy is the fourth commandment. The commandments that were given to Moses as he led the people away from Egypt. Keep the Sabbath holy. And it's significant within this Sabbath means equality. Freedom for men and women, even for the slaves and people who were not from those parts, the foreigners. It was about equality. Yes, Sabbath is a great day for equality. All are to rest. Very telling, as well as you. So it's not just me. This message isn't just for me. It's for every human being. And maybe not only human beings, but the whole creation. Not all are equal in the real world, in daily life, in the production of goods and the consumption of goods. And some have more access than others to the power, to the wealth. Our society that is defined by the way it produces and consumes. It assesses people and the value of people by performance, not for being people. And there's coercion to produce more, to consume more, in order to have worth. This creates people who have, people who don't have. It creates the rich and the poor, people with access and people denied, whether that's to homes, to food, to wealth, prosperity. But Sabbath breaks that divide. Now, keeping the Sabbath is distinctive and characteristic of Jewish tradition. Every week before sunset on Friday until nightfall on Saturday, the Sabbath, or Shabbat, is more than just a day off from daily labours. It's a day of physical and spiritual delight. It's joy. It highlights certain key concepts in the traditional understanding of the world. In the Bible, Shabbat is portrayed as the height, the summit of the creation of the universe. For God created in 6 days and rested on the 7th. And all is very good. Observing the Sabbath can be seen as a reminder that God had a purpose in creating the world and people. And God's resting shows God's confidence in God's creation. For Jewish people, Shabbat also reminds of God's act of liberation. Liberating the Israelites from slavery in Egypt. And God's peace and serenity gives people and other creatures a restfulness that was not given by the drivenness of Pharaoh. And by setting aside a day of personal freedom from the harsh demands of daily life, you are honouring God. So the traditional Shabbat in Jewish liturgy is song, story, a day of joy, and it's a sanctuary, a safe place from the troublesome ways of life and the daily things that upset us. It's even a foretaste of that perfected world which is to come one day. The fourth commandment looks back to the first. Love God, creator God, who liberates and rested. Do not covet. It's about a community of neighbours who love one another. So the fourth commandment is significant. It matters. And we might sometimes forget that today, this day of rest. Jesus isn't against the Sabbath. What he does is within the true Sabbath values. He's known as a teacher in the synagogue, a preacher, engaged in honouring God on the Sabbath. But in our gospel we hear that his followers pick meat to eat. And that's not right. He heals. Now these actions do not dishonour God. Jesus is filled with compassion for the man he heals. He's filled with righteous anger at the hardness of the hearts of his critics. Now, the Jewish Sabbath is a Saturday. For Christians, Sunday has become our holy day, the day of resurrection, and we worship together on a Sunday. This day of rest, the idea of a day of rest, and a day for delight, and a day for actively ceasing our labours in a materialistic world, it's valuable. It's even essential. The Sabbath is a gift for us, and we should make an effort to keep it holy for God. We can perhaps go further. Walter Brueggemann, an American theologian, talks of Sabbath as resistance. It's countercultural. It's liberation. It's resistance to the materialistic, the shallow, the coercive. It's compassionate and liberating. It's about saying no to the culture of now. We live in a culture of competition, the rat race. It creates anxiety. People want more, feeling inadequate if we don't get more. So to celebrate the Sabbath is both resistance and alternative. To keep the Sabbath shows resistance, and therefore we're not allowing our lives to be defined by this wanting consumer goods. We need to intend to resist, and we need the community will to resist the market. But Sabbath isn't just resistance, it is an alternative. It's an alternative to the demands and the clatter and the chatter of constant advertising. We can't get away from advertising. It's there all the time. But the Sabbath is an alternative to the market mentality with all the stresses that brings. Our alternative is the awareness and practice of receiving the gifts of God in our lives. The materialistic culture expects us to accomplish, achieve, and possess. We don't expect gifts freely and abundantly given. But the gifts from Jesus lie outside empire and corrupting power. Our discipleship involves us in the love of God and the love of our neighbour. And when we come together in community to the Eucharist, for giving thanks, we share the bread and wine. And this is the true gift. And it's at the centre for us of the idea of rest on the Sabbath, resting in God, giving thanks to God, praising God. We receive in gratitude. It is a free gift. We haven't achieved anything. We haven't competed for it. We don't qualify for it. It's a gift. Freely given in love. And we thank them for it. We may be weary and heavy laden, but here, in the Eucharist, in the communion, in the bread and wine, we find true rest, true peace, true freedom,